Well, hi, and welcome to yet another something here. This time we're talking about the marvelous Zoom F8 8-track recorder. And the only thing I want to tell you about today is about a power option that you might not have tumbled onto yet. Inexpensive, rechargeable, easy to use, and it will run the recorder in record mode with 5 microphones, all using phantom power, for 13 hours. It sound pretty good? Yes, it does, doesn't it? All right, let's quickly review here on the Zoom. There's the front, of course, and when we turn it on initially, we are using the internal battery pack, which consists of 8 AA batteries. And if we look, let's see if we can zoom in here on that. Yeah, if we look up here in this top edge, it says 12.0 volts. And that's because we're using the little internal battery pack. And if I were to open the back of the thing here, whoops, let's zoom out. If I were to open the back of this thing and pull out this battery pack, then obviously you know what just happened. The recorder turned off because, you know, no power, no recorder. And as long as we're looking at it here, let's just show you that there are 4 on this side and there are 4 more on this side. 4 here and 4 here. And it goes through these things pretty fast. I honestly have not timed it because I don't count on these. These are really good if you're like running and gunning or something, but if you've got any kind of setup where you need to be there for a little while, that's not really going to be your favorite. It will only go one way too, which is neat. They've really made this little machine pretty idiot resistant, I would say. Okay. Another option for powering it, which comes with it, of course, is the AC wall adapter. Here's your friendly little Zoom AC wall adapter, and it has the typical little barrel type. Get a better look at that. The little barrel type AC plug for 12 volts. And now I bring that out because in a minute you'll see why, because the type of plug is sort of a big deal. All right, let's just turn this thing back on. And we're not plugged in, so we're running off the internal power. And, you know, this is old hat to some of you. Bear with me, I won't be here on this long. All right, in the back, there is the inlet for your 12 volts right there. So if we plug that in, now, when we look at the front and we zoom in up here at the top, you'll see it actually says 12.1 volts DC. And I'm going to unplug it, and you notice it says DC under it, meaning that it's using the DC adapter. When I unplug it, it will change to AA, and it actually drops to 12.0 volts. That will drop over time, that voltage, as you use the batteries up. Okay, we talked about the better option. First of all, I put it in this bag, which I got at Home Depot, and I'm telling you, you can find all kinds of neat little tool bags down there that are wonderful for your audio gear. I haven't got a single one here in front of me right now, but I put mic cables and accessories. They have these little standby. I'm back. They have these wonderful little bags that they call document bags, I believe. Contractors use them to put who knows what, blueprints and directions home and so forth. Little zipper top opens up, perfect for mic cables. You can put a lot of mic cables in these, especially if you use some good thin cable. So, what's in the bag? What is this magic power source that we're talking about? Well, I'll show you. First of all, there's the cable, and then you're going to recognize this. That's right. It's a rechargeable battery from an uninterruptible power supply. Say that 3 times fast. In particular, we have here the PowerSonic model PS-1250, and it's also F1. I don't know if that matters, but this is a 12 volt, 5 amp hour, and bought this one locally for $24, but I think on Amazon you can get them for close to half of that. And it's the familiar battery. I'll show you the charger I bought for it. I actually wound up buying 2, so I want to warn you that if you don't, you got to spend a little money to get a decent one, otherwise it won't charge fully. It will charge, it just won't charge up fully, and takes forever too. This thing will run it it'll run it for 13 hours. So now, here's the big thing to learn from today's video, and that's all about this connector. If we take a look at the recorder, over here in this corner on side 1, 2, 3, 4, up in the upper left corner is an Hirose connector, which is a Japanese company like Nutric, I suppose. They make connectors. And these particular connectors are very popular on, why do I go blank on this every single time? The sound devices, thank you very much. Voices in the head. Sound devices recorders use these Hirose connectors. And it has a 4-pin socket for which you need a 4-pin plug. And you can buy these from DigiKey, I know, but I have the hardest time navigating their website. I got frustrated. I found them at MarkerTech, and prices are about the same. This little connector is about $15, $16. It's not cheap. and it's their economy model too. But it's beautifully, beautifully made. And it just works like a dream. Here, let's see. Let me see if I can give you a quick little demo of it. You just... I know I've got my hand in the way. You just simply push and rotate until there. All of a sudden it will click and go into place, and it's locked at that point. But you just simply grab the outer barrel and pull, and it comes right out. So it's a beautiful, elegant solution. Now, I'm going to open it up and show you the inside, and we'll talk a little bit about assembling this thing. And oh yeah, a part number, I'm going to post all this down below, but this is the Hirose HR10A series, the HR10A series, and it's a 4-contact, and it is a plug, so it's a P, not a socket S type. The things look the same. I mean, they have the same little outer barrel and all that, but you want to make sure that you get the pin or plug P model. The specific Hirose part number, if you got a pen and pencil, or actually, let me just put it across the screen here. It's an HR10A-7P-4P parentheses 73. Close parentheses. Now, I would urge you to go to the Hirose website and download their catalog. You can get one just specifically on these HR10 type connectors. You'll find in there pinouts and some tools that you can get, you don't need, And unless you're in production, you definitely need them then. And then finally, most important, on page 19 is cable assembly procedure on the plug side. And I would advise you to get that and read it carefully and pay close attention to the dimensions. They give you the cut length dimensions of the wire, how much to strip back, how much to have exposed, and so forth. And if you'll follow that, you'll be like me and you'll get it right the very first time. I was delighted at how well this thing went together. And before I open it up, one more thing. The contacts are made for 26 gauge wire. 26 gauge wire. Now you bear that in mind. That's important. And trust me, these connectors or these sockets, the little sockets you're going to solder into, are small. It says use cables with a nominal sectional area of 0.129 millimeters square, 26 AWG. At the finish outside diameter applicable for each size. But the important thing is 26 gauge wire. So that got me to pondering, if you get some little bitty 26 gauge wires and you run them, it's just going to be so delicate and so prone to breakage and yanking, pulling loose and so forth. What to do? Well, it just so happened at the time I was investigating some microphone cable with the idea of making up some new mic cables, and I was looking at Canare's cables, and I'll give you a link to that. But Canare makes a cable that is the L2E5, I believe. We'll get the link to this as well. Again, you can get it from Marker Tech. You can buy it by the foot. So, I don't know, 60 cents a foot, 50 cents a foot, something. But yeah, about 45 or 50 cents a foot. So it's not going to cost you very much to make up a 10-foot cable, $5. And this has this microphone cable, and it's beautifully made. It has a braided shield and then all kind of extra wrappings inside, and buried in there are two beautiful little 26 gauge wires, and you can use those to wire up your connector. And it's also perfect because it gives you something of some size that actually fits just right for the clamping system inside. So let's open this thing up and I'll show you what the innards look like. To disassemble this cable, you start by pulling back this rubber jacket, which has a very, very tight grip. And you notice there's some flats and a ridge right along there, and this rubber has a lip that's going to grip right over that, making it the devil to get off. So be prepared to have your fingernails destroyed. Once you get the little rubber jacket pulled back off of the lip right there, it moves off pretty easily at that point. And that will expose the set screw, which is bearing inside against a ring which has been crimped around the outer part of the cable. And they make a special tool for crimping that on, but I used pliers. I just used some needle nose and regular pliers, and I think maybe it's been about 2 months since I made this, so I've forgotten, but I think I also maybe used a coaxial cable crimp tool or something. But anyway, you just work at it and it'll crimp down on there, and then that in turn lines up with the set screw. And to do the set screw, I am using a 50 thousandths hex wrench on it, which fits it perfectly. That will allow you to unscrew the body from the inner connector. You can see where it threads onto the inner connector, and here is that crimped on sleeve. And you want to make sure when you put it together that one or the other of these triangular dimples lines up with the set screw, here at the back of the plug, because that's what really gives it incredible strength, because any kind of tugging and pulling is done on the body of the cable and not on these tiny little 26 gauge wires, which I trust you can see. Now, as far as the wiring goes, the white is, I use the white for ground and the blue for hot. And in the, oh, it looks like I'm going to get to resolder that, doesn't it? Oh, good, I broke it. Marvelous, that's going to be fun. I have to probably start over. Okay, well, yeah, I think what happened was I was twisting on the, you didn't see this on camera, but I was twisting on the internal part, trying to remove it before I had loosened the set screw. So I wound up breaking it. Good for me. Okay. Well, anyway, you can see the little wire, and the little sockets are really tiny, but it's actually not hard to solder. It really wasn't. And here's where it solders, and so let's see if I can give you an orientation if you wind up getting one of these. Let's see, there is, well, you can't see it, no way, but if you get you'll have to have a magnifying glass and plenty of light, but these pins are numbered on this black surface. And as I recall, it's pins 1 and 4, but I forget which is which. And it's spelled out in the Zoom owner's manual as to which is which. Wow, I wish I could see that. You know, I'm not as well prepared for this as I thought I was going to be after spending a lot of time getting it ready. But, oh, wow. Yeah, that battery is still working, isn't it? So anyway, that's it. And so I'll have to put that one back together, won't I? Okay, through the miracle of editing and magic of video and so forth, I am back with a repaired cable. And I just want to let you know that it was repaired. It didn't, I guess it took 20 minutes or so. I had to go down and warm up the soldering iron and all that kind of good stuff. Let's see. If we've got it here, you should. Yeah, you can see the little green power indicator. So that's saying AA, meaning it's running on the internal, and I will plug in the external, and all of a sudden it changes to 12.6 external. So the battery's putting out 12.6 volts right now. It's not fully charged. Hello. It's not, well, okay, hello to you. It's not fully charged. It'll get up to about 14 volts when it's fully charged, but it works just fine here. That input will work over a range of about 15 volts down to 9 or something like that. And you can set the high and low. You can set the point where it shuts off so that you don't drain your battery too far. I think I got mine set at 10 maybe, something like that. I also told you about the battery charger, and I couldn't find it, but this is it here. And it is a, well, let me just show you what it is here. It's Janssen automatic battery charger, 2, 6, and 12 seal lead acid battery, and that's what we're talking about here. It's a sealed lead acid battery, and I'll plug it in over here so you can see how this thing works. I will first of all disconnect it from the Zoom, and then connect up the the two red and black leads. And so that's what happens is you'll get charging. If you've got it backwards, you'll get a polarity message. Let's see, I think I can demonstrate that without blowing up the place. Yep, see, we got a polarity issue, so that'll keep you honest. And it's charging. And it will run for a pretty good while. It tells you on here absolutely nothing. Oh, there's a switch on the back where you can set it for 2, 6, or 12 volts. So you do that, and you let it go, and eventually the green light will go out. It takes a while. It may take you overnight, in fact, to recharge it. But that shouldn't matter, considering that it's a pretty compact little battery. And oh yeah, told you also about those handy little contractors folders from Home Depot. I've got my entire GoPro collection in here. Close-up lenses, there's the camera, bunch of extra screws, all manner of suction clamps. There's a battery, double battery charging deal, the original base. Here's a USB cord. Here's a microphone adapter for it. More things. Here's the battery, double battery charging part that goes with the cord. Here's a back that has the viewfinder on the back. Kind of like one of those circus things, isn't it? More of these stuff, more chips, all that, this little bag. These are about $4 or something, you know? And they're virtually, I mean, they're canvas and plastic, and they're just nylon or something. Maybe it's just plastic, but no, it feels stitched. Anyway, it's got a heavy zipper on it. I've used them for years, and they really work. Now, they've got a lot of other bags, too, that work well, but these things are so dirt cheap, and they're so handy. So, there you go. That's all I can tell you today. This time, I'm signing off. Bye.